Nikki.
What's up, everybody? It is me, your boy Rico No Suave. Woo-wee! I am super happy to be back, everybody. Super happy to be back with each and every one of you guys. And you know, when I say I'm super happy, I'm super happy. The sun is shining, and you know what else is better is to be able for you to see my face in the sunshine. Oh, wee! I am super happy. So, entonces, bienvenido a todos mi gente, and I am super ready to go. Hey, we got a fun-filled show for you guys today. And when I tell you we have a fun-filled show, it's going to be insane with nothing but great stuff. So make sure you please go right ahead and make sure you comment. Don't forget to like, if you're talking to the TV, that's okay. That's cool. You know, I try to hear you. I'll try to hear what you're saying. But, you know, for everybody that's actually online, thank you guys so much. Make sure you comment, make sure you share this, and let everybody know that Rico No Suave, the show is ready. All right, everybody. You know, this month, we got to bring out the heritage, baby. It's Asian, American, and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. And today, I want to dedicate, you know, a little segment as far as to one of my favorite boxers, you know, from the Philippines, man. When we talk about the Islander, we're talking about someone that also is a great boxer, but also is all about the community. And you know who that is? My man Pacquiao. Ooh wee, Manny Pacquiao, baby, unstoppable force, man. Manny Pacquiao. Let's stand up, Philippines, stand up. You know, because this, a 1-2 punch, quick, and man, just also I love to see him fight. I love to see him fight, and of course, you know, I love to see everything he's doing. You know, I ain't gonna bring back memories like that. You know, I ain't gonna bring back memories like that. But I tell you that Manny Pacquiao is an awesome, awesome person. What also makes him awesome is that he's all about the community. And when we talk about the community, he's actually having a housing project that is actually in the Philippines. And one of the biggest things about, you know, him as being humble, he's also a very religious person. And he's also about making sure that whatever the talent that he has to be able to give to the community, this is exactly what he's doing. And what he's doing is he's building houses for people that's in need. And their initiatives, right? You know, it's all about the Manny Pacquiao Foundation, you know, and they're committed of creating and making sure there's change within the community itself so people can join in with changing the world on a positive note. And that's one thing that I really love about Manny Pacquiao, because if you look at what he's doing, he's actually building his own community, and you see all of the houses and people that's actually in need. They need a roof over their head. Hey, he's actually helping to be able to do so. So if you look up Manny Pacquiao Foundation, please go ahead and join in and donate. Be a part of that. If you love helping communities and you want to do some missionary work, definitely look up the Manny Pacquiao Foundation. Go to the Philippines and do some great things as far as with him and initiatives. And there's other things that they're actually doing. This is just one piece that I love, because there's housing and there's things that should be, you know, for helpful for people that don't have homes as well. All right, everybody, it's time for me to introduce this beautiful young lady. Oh, man, when I tell you, everyone, when we talk about hip hop, the one big thing about hip hop, everybody, is making sure that you know it's a culture. She's also a TV show host and as well as an actor. I want you guys to put your hands together for none other than my girl, Keldamuzik. Let's go.
What up? What up?
What's up, girl? How you doing?
I am good, Rico. Thank you so much for having me.
You know, I had to have you. You know what I mean? I had to have you because we talking hip hop. We talking, you know, when I saw TV show hosts, I had to have you. And of course, I like movies, right? And I said, actor, it's too multi-talented. You're too multi-talented, love. So, you know, it's all about you today. And thank you so much for actually being here on the show as far as with me on the Rico no Suave show. You know, before we get started, I always like to ask my, you know, my guests, do you have any shout outs that you want to give out to anybody out there?
Definitely, I want to give a shout out to my team, Diggs Media Group,
Nice.
Priscilla Leona for connecting us, Question
Yes.
Reality Radio, and a special shout out to all my TAMS models who've been supporting my line of berets and been, you know, walking the runway at my fashion shows and supporting me. So, yes, shout out to all you lovely people.
Awesome. 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 You know, when we talk about, we might as well get right into it because I'm fired up. You know, I'm fired up because, you know, when it comes down to hip hop, I want to talk about where did you get started? How did you get started? What was your influence as far as becoming that woman hip hop artist? Talk to us.
Yeah, so I started writing when I was 14, 15, and I started recording in the booth when I was 16. And it's funny, believe it or not, like I actually started out singing pop music. And, you know, I'm not really the best singer, but I was a really good writer. And so from there, like I started working with different producers, and they're like, you need to just rap this because I think that's the best way you can express yourself. Because I
Yeah.
was also doing poetry. So once I started going to the booth and rapping the lyrics, people were like, whoa, you actually have talent and you should pursue this. So I always like to say Kelda Williams was born in San Jose, California, but Kelda Music, also known as Diva, was born in Oakland. That's where I signed my first independent label deal with Squad Music
Let's
in
go.
2005. I released my first album called Shut Up Listen. And from there, my career just took off. It started out with showcases and being interviewed and stuff to touring internationally and working with other major artists and really just becoming, established.
When it comes down, Kelda, when it comes down to you being, into hip hop back in the day, and probably still is, you got a pencil and you got a paper, and I'm writing my lyrics. I'm freestyling. I want the world to know exactly what's in my head so I can put it out to the world to let them know who I am. When you step into the booth, and let's just say you were doing a freestyle, right? The mind is a beautiful thing of what comes out of it when you're trying to find the words that's coming up after one sentence, after one sentence, after one sentence. It's like, hey, I got to be able to put this together. How is your mind coming up as that upcoming in hip hop? How were you being creative? What kept you motivated to be creative?
Oh man, just life experiences, whether they were my own or, a family member of mine or a good friend of mine. That's what kept the creative juices flowing because
Mm,
you always want to be organic or you always want to be authentic when it comes to hip hop music, right? That's
yeah,
why, the game is so raw that if you don't write your own lyrics, you get called out for that. Like
right.
that's damn near a disqualification from the industry if you don't write your own stuff.
Right.
So for me, I just write it based off of experiences and I'm a writer, I'm more of a writer, not
Okay.
really like a freestyle artist. Like I can't do it on the spot. And
Okay.
that's okay because
Sure.
there's different types of rappers. You
Yep.
have lyricists, you have battle rappers, you have freestyle rappers,
Yep.
and then you have writers, right?
Yep.
People that take their time with the writing process of the music and making a track, making a song.
Yeah.
And that also leads me to why I started getting into music placement and music licensing. Not to mention one of my songs were placed in Real Housewives of Atlanta, but we'll get to that later. Uh, but it's like when you're a writer, you kind of cater to the brands that you see out there
Yeah.
and the media, right? And
Yeah.
so from watching TV and films and stuff, you kind of know what they're looking for when you write your next track.
Yeah.
Um, but for me, that's my creative process is the writing process. Just closing myself in a quiet room for 8 hours and just writing, writing, writing. And of course, as a writer, we get writer's block, which
Yes.
we draw.
Yes.
We just don't know what to write about. But I think that's the most interesting, unique part about it because when something does come to mind, it's going to be nice. It's going to
Right.
be fresh. It's going to be catchy. It's going to be what people want to hear. So that's pretty much my process. Just locking myself in a room and just thinking, thinking, and writing. It's like doing an essay from
Yeah.
college.
I like it that you are a writer, and you know what it kind of reminds me of? It kind of reminds me of Missy Elliott. Missy Elliott, of
Mhm.
course, was a big time writer as well, and
Yes.
wrote a lot of songs for a lot of hip hop artists. From and also, yeah, also some lyrics as far as if they were R&B and they wanted to actually rap in a break or something like that, that they would actually get right into it and
Hmm.
go from there. But it was something that she wrote as well.
Yeah.
Okay, you did talk about, it's taking me back a little bit because I have to talk about it because when an artist copy lyrics from another artist,
Hmm.
we call that biting. You
Hmm.
biting
Hmm.
my rhymes, you biting my lyrics. And I used to love hearing that. because it was in a way back then that you had to be unique in order to be an MC or a hip hop artist, or a rap artist. You can't be biting my style. You can't be biting my lyrics, because if you continue to bite my lyrics and my style, it
Oh
was
yeah.
just, hey, you're not going to make it because people are going to, they're going to be at you, in regards to that, especially from a media standpoint. Did you have did you watch Yo MTV Raps?
Oh yeah, of course. Like the little bit that I caught of it during that era,
Yeah. Yeah.
like I remember catching a little bit of it. But yes, I do. Like I couldn't really name like the host. I know what he looks like, but
Fat
um,
Freddy. His name was Fat Freddy. That was my guy,
Ready,
Yo MTV.
yes, yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I watched like a little bit of it as it was getting
Towards the end.
popular, and then I guess it got cut off or whatever. But
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
do remember that each artist he brought on there, like they were a real talented artist. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
LL Cool J, Slick Rick, uh,
Yeah.
all those guys. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
like that was a really good show. It's kind of like Rap City
Yeah.
and BT on BT, right? Like just mhm,
Yep.
mhm,
Basically just like that. Rap City. Yep.
yeah,
Even like when Tigger was underground, when
yes,
yeah, the underground, the basement,
yeah.
stuff like
Basement,
that.
yes. Oh my god, I used to
Yeah.
love Beat City. Yes.
But I think it was just, I think more of it was more of like the culture, right? The culture behind it of the pioneers. I actually had Curtis Blow on my show. And when talking to Curtis Blow and how he influenced a lot of other, rap artists, such as like LL Cool J and a lot of other like, other artists as well too, Slick Rick and all of those guys, because he's kind of like the pioneer. When we talk
Yeah.
about influencing, we also talk about of course, there's the male side and there's the woman side. Now, when it was women, female artists, was there any women, female artists that you looked up to, even, from back in the day or even up until, the time you were starting to, write your lyrics?
Yeah. During that time, I was in love with the Brat, of course, Missy Elliott, Left Eye from TLC,
Yeah.
uh, MC Light, Queen Latifah, Yo
Yes.
Yo. Uh, oh my gosh, yeah. Like I remember my mom, she would be taking me to school in the morning or whatever, and like every time Queen Latifah's "UNITY" would come on, turn it up.
Yeah.
This the
Yeah.
jam. And I'm like, yeah, it
Uh,
is. Because it was all about back then. It was about promoting female empowerment in a positive way,
yeah.
and kind of making us equal to men. Um, but it's funny now. Like I mean, I love the music that we have now and what's out right now, but it's kind of
Sure.
like we're cheating a little bit. Like
Yeah.
when we want to get naked and stuff, I think that's like the easy thing to do, whereas men can't really do that. And there's nothing wrong. I don't mind watching some twerking. I'm just mad because I can't twerk. But
Right.
but it's just kind of like I feel that we cheat ourselves when really we could be. Sorry about the little
That's
animal.
okay. That's okay.
When we cheat ourselves when really we can do a lot more than that. You know what I mean? And it's been proven from the legendary artists that I just named. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Um, TLC went through a phase where they were wearing nothing but baggy clothes. They didn't want to be, just straight up sexy women revealing everything. They wanted to still kind of have the tomboy sexy look, or even
Yeah.
the right. She's wearing baggy clothes, braids in her
Yeah.
hair, and um, button up shirts and everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then later on, you had the little Kims and the Foxy Browns and the Trinas that came out, and it's like, oh, okay, this is another side of female rap. You know what I
Yes.
mean? And shoot, there's nothing wrong with that because there's a market for everything.
Right.
And I feel when it comes to female rap, we have more of a bigger market than male rappers do. Because yes, we could put out really sexy, over sexualized music, and then we could be conscious artists where we're
Yes.
just rapping about life and
Yes.
the dark things that happen in our lives, or we can be entertainers. You know
Right.
what I mean? So
Right.
we're very versatile in a way where, again, the market is huge for us, and that's why so many of us are coming out today.
Yeah.
And it's like a overflow of all of us. But you know what? It's all promoting black females, and ain't
Yep.
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, yeah. The one thing that you did hit on, which I really like, was the three
Hmm.
different kind of like the phase approach of what hip hop is, right?
Hmm.
The one thing about hip hop is understanding. Hi, doggy. The one thing that we really love about how hip hop is making sure that your point is across from three different levels. When I talk about the three different levels, we're talking about where you did have the MC Light, where she was, I, I want to say like classy hip hop, but it was kind of like the b-boy style hip hop, with
Hmm.
MC Light, even Queen Latifah,
Hmm.
and even Roxanne back in the day,
Hmm.
and it was just that type of style is something that grew upon me, for me wanting to be able to blast that, and then you also got into the gangsta women hip hop where
Hmm.
I get
Hmm.
rough and stuff with my Afro puff,
Yeah,
yeah,
Lady Waves.
and
Yeah, yeah.
so that stuff right there, I have to say, when I say good stuff, you could still be able to at least understand what they're saying and what they're talking about, and still being able to have some type of that normalcy. I think when you start talking about from a woman's standpoint of, I want to say demeanor, but it's just more of what style comes into play when you start having less clothes on, right?
Hmm.
From a woman's
Hmm.
standpoint, you're entertaining, but I know it's entertainment, right? It's definitely
Hmm.
entertainment. It's what's flowing with it. I just, for me, it's just more of like, yo, maybe I'm so old school that when you said the
No, I
baggy
mean,
clothes,
it's
I'm
just,
just feeling
yeah.
that.
It's just, I think like now what female rappers are doing is we're creating a distraction for ourselves so that
Yeah,
you're not only listening to the music, but you're looking at me as well. And so together as a package, that's what sells. And
yeah,
there's nothing wrong with that because again, there's a market for
right,
that. Like the
right,
same things that you see going to the club that got the ass cheeks out
yeah,
and cleavage showing, right? Like
right,
that there's the market for that, and
right,
again, that's like what's making money right now. But
yeah,
like you said, back in the day when there was the Queen Latifahs and MC Lights, where it was all about being a lyricist, and they just happened
yes,
to be females, and they're speaking from their perspective as a female. I
yeah,
think what we're missing in hip hop today, and
yeah,
that's what we kind of need to balance out all the the sexualness and anything else that we
right,
represent right now. We need a real like female lyricist, maybe someone like Rhapsody to just come out and just be like, hey, I'm a female rapping from my perspective, and I'll show some cleavage, I'll show my body here and there, but it's not about that. You know what I
right,
mean?
right.
So and don't get me wrong, that's what happens with pop and R&B singers too,
True.
right? Like
Exactly.
when labels see a beautiful woman, first thing they're going to say is, well, how comfortable do you feel with, being halfway naked all the time and on covers of magazines and blog sites and stuff? And so that's something that you kind of have to be already before
Yeah.
then pursuing that aspect of the industry. If that's not you, it's not you,
Right.
right?
Right.
So that's pretty much my thoughts on female rap right now. We just need to have one female rapper that comes out and that balances female hip hop so that
Yeah.
we're not only thinking of a certain type of female hip hop. We're like, wait, there's a a variety of different female hip hop, like you said, gangsta, conscious, sexy,
Right.
uh, just being me, whatever.
Yes. Right.
You know what
Right.
I mean?
You know,
So
remember Diggable Planets?
yeah, 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 yeah.
So that type of poetic hip hop
Yes,
was something I loved as well too, because the beat behind it made also who you were, right? The beats behind it also made who you were. But I do want to talk about you in regards to the reason why I wanted to ask that question, because it all boils down in regards to your influences and what made you
mhm,
Keldamuzik today, right? But also for the audience. So when you're rapping and you throwing your lyrics out there for people to listen to, what do you want? How do you want to connect to your audience, and what way do you want them to see you?
I want them to see me as a female who's just rapping from her perspective. I want you to listen to my voice. I want you to listen to what I'm saying lyrically, because again, I'm a writer, you
Right.
know, and whatever I say, I don't want you to hold that against me. It's
Mm,
more of I'm speaking for the next female and the next
mm,
female and that female. And that's why I said, like, I can make different types of music, right?
yeah.
Where on one record, hey, we got like a Meg the Stallion track. And then on the next record, we got more of a Eve track. Next record, we got
Yeah.
more of a MC Light track. I want to
Yeah.
represent all female rappers on one album or throughout my entire career. But mainly, it's just like I'm a spokesperson for the black female community, the black female hip hop community.
I
I
like
don't
that.
want to over sexualize myself, and at the same time, I don't want to be too much of a tomboy either. I just
Right.
want to balance things out. So um, again, on all my current and previous projects, the song titles, like for my very first album, Shut Up Listen, the first track was called This Is It. The next track is called Dizzy. The next track is called Be Like Me. The next track is called um, Heavenly. And so if you think about it, these are titles that have carefully been thought about and that have deep concepts behind them, whether it's sexy or whether it's conscious or whether it's gangsta. But either way, like on that track, I'm representing who I am for that moment. I'm not
Yeah.
just one type of artist where you're like, okay, she's the type of artist that's always going to rap about sad songs, or
Yeah.
artists who rap about, booty in the air.
Right.
So it's just
Yeah.
I like to
I like the way we definitely should call you the spokesperson, because you definitely are taking the journey that you know of the people that influenced you, and you're making tracks in different levels, which
yes.
kind of makes it interesting because normally you'll hear a certain level of hip
Hmm.
hop
Hmm.
where you're having certain levels of interesting levels of how what am I going to listen to next?
Hmm.
That's basically what you're telling like people, hey, what am I going to listen to next? Like I'm curious to see what she's going to put out next,
Yes.
because
Yeah.
that's awesome, because it's
Yeah.
very unique, I should say, because not a lot of I don't know a lot of female artists that kind of do it that way. But I know that MC Light, I would say that MC Light did have, that smooth like ride along cappuccino music, and then she had that, hey, you cheating on me, MC Light, paper thin. She kind of had that, but it was kind of like that smooth. But you,
Yeah.
on the other hand, is having that like, okay, we're gonna have your heart beating a certain way.
Yes, exactly, exactly. Just depending what mood I'm in, you know what I mean? Or
Yeah,
just depending on what I've experienced lately, and this is what I want to write about.
yeah,
Because at the end of the day, it's true. Um, and when I make club songs, again, I'm just talking about what happened at the club that night. Had a drink, he gave me a wink. I started to think, you know what I mean? Like, just
yeah.
on, you know what I mean? And then there's times where I'm like, I want to make like a hip hop pop track. And I know a lot of, real hip hop pioneers and legends probably don't like to hear that because Nicki Minaj faced a lot of consequences when she came out with Starships. But I think that
Yeah.
was still good in a way for the hip hop community to show how versatile we are, and we're not just sticking to one topic or one type of sound. We can have a pop sound too. We can
Yep.
have an R&B sound.
Of
We can have
course.
a country sound. We can
Yep.
have a rock sound. You remember when um, Run DMC collaborated with Aerosmith?
Yep.
There was a time when
Walk
Ice
this
Cube
way.
collaborated. Yeah, exactly. There
Yep.
was a time when Ice Cube collaborated with the band Korn. There was
Mm-hmm.
Method Man who collaborated with Fred Durst from Limp Bizkit.
Limp
And I'm talking
Biscuit. Yep. I
about,
was just thinking about that. Limp Biscuit.
yeah, yeah. So it's
Yep.
kind of like I wish hip hop would kind of take that direction where we're just opening doors for ourselves in different genres, but still hip hop. And then
Yeah.
at the same time, with females as well. Um, as a matter of fact, I heard Meg Thee Stallion on a track with Maroon 5. You know what I
Oh
mean?
wow.
And it sounded great. You know what I mean? Like no one would ever think, okay, a rapper could be on this kind of pop alternative track, but she made it sound good. And
Nice.
then even for me, when Nicki Minaj came out with Starships and other kind of pop songs, they still sounded good. It was
Yeah.
just hip hop was mad because they wanted her to be the first female rapper to come out in a while to really, again, set the tone for female rappers. But she was just like, hey, I'm gonna be like Lady Gaga sometimes. I'm gonna be MC Light sometimes. I'm gonna be Foxy Brown sometimes. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
Yeah.
so, really, what I admire about her, she just has so many hats that she could wear as a female artist. But yeah,
I like that. I definitely like that, and I commend you in regards to even we're gonna call this for the rest of the show the heartbeat. I have to say for what you're doing for music, for yourself, but also keeping yourself unique is so important for people to be able to know about. Hey, I'm really looking forward to hearing what she got to do next, right?
yeah, yeah.
Even if they say, hey, that track was mediocre, I want to see what she's going to do next. And then you just shock them. Boom. You hit them with something like, okay, there you go. This is for you.
That's right. That's right. And that's what's to be expected from me at
That's
all
awesome,
times.
man. Hey, Kelda, I'm going to have you take a few second break because we got to do commercial. We got to pay bills. That's what we do around here.
Hey, get that
Everybody, you
money.
already know. We got my girl Keldamuzik. She is a hip hop artist. She is an actor and a TV show host. But thank you guys so much for actually tuning in. We'll be back in 30 seconds, everybody. See you soon. Welcome back, everybody. You already know it's your boy Rico No Suave here with my girl Keldamuzik. You already know. Hey, Kelda, are you having a good time?
I'm having an amazing time. Rico, you are amazing. Shout out to Priscilla for introducing us. I'm so glad that
Let's
we got
go. Let's go, man. Yeah, big shout out to Priscilla Leona. She's my girl. And everybody else that's actually tuning in. Thank you guys so much. Big shout out. I got to give some shout outs here. Big shout out to Beatrice Davis. Thank you so much for checking in with us, John T, for free. Yes, thank you so much, Donna Marie Bird, and everybody else that's actually tuning in. We do have a statement from Donna Marie Bird. She says, "What you are showing is intelligence. That a beautiful woman can also be intelligent and brilliant, like a female scientist." I'm digging that. Thank you, Donna
Oh,
Marie.
thank
I'm digging that.
you. Yes, thank you, Donna. Yes. And again, that's why I like to say that I'm not only the spokesperson for black female hip hop, but also too for black females. And
Right.
that also is the reason why I get invited to speak at events and host events, because I'm really good at relating to the crowd and articulating my thoughts and engaging with people. Again, to be an entertainer, to be a musician, anything like that, you have to be a conversationalist. You have to be a people person. And
Yes.
that's what I feel I am. And let me tell you, when I get invited to speak at certain community events, I always leave the room just in shock. And I get people coming up to me afterwards saying, how can we connect? I want you to speak to my art students. I want you to come speak at this juvenile center to all these young girls. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I think that's the thing. Like, not only are you supposed to relate to people, but leave a message with them. It's not always about sharing your traumatizing experience or whatever, but it's understanding where they're coming from and how your words can help heal them.
Yeah.
So I do that through my music. I do that through my acting, my film, my TV, my fashion. I just want to heal the community, the female community. And it doesn't have to be just black females, but all females,
Yes.
because we go through a lot, and we're still
Yeah.
going through a lot till this day.
Yeah.
So that's why you also have to appreciate artists like, Beyonce, Nicki Minaj, um, who are out there still fighting for us and taking the bullets for us every time they're on stage and
Yeah.
get bad reviews or good reviews, whatever. Like, they are putting themselves out there
Yeah.
for us.
You're right. I mean, you're definitely right, and I think having a male to female ratio in regards to artists in general, there's always phases of an approach of making sure that there are role models in a positive way and a good way of being able to know how to either survive certain instances. And when we talk about this, we also talk about the lyrics that's within the music itself. For someone to
Yeah.
really understand the lyrics instead of talking about, oh, I'll shoot you, I'll kill you dead, and violence and things like that. I'm not a big advocate in regards to that, but it's and I don't want to contradict them as far as me saying this, because I do like to hear Ghetto Boys, and I did listen to Scarface and things like that, but it was kind of that gangster rap where you knew you had areas where that you went into that this was actually going on, so you had to accept it, right? But when you're
Mhm.
actually listening to it all the time, it tends to brainwash you and just, you feel a certain way. And even for some of the gangster rap for ladies as well, too, it wasn't so much, but it was more of partying. It was more of having a great time, even in the backyard,
Mhm.
backyard picnic or barbecues and family reunions, and people that actually had something to really talk about. But
Yeah.
it's just the direction behind it, right? So,
Yeah. Yes.
yeah.
I agree. And I think you said something that was a good point. Um, when artists, whether it's female or male, if it's a male rapping about gangster shooting guns or females rapping about sex, it also depends on how it's delivered, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everything's about wordplay. That's
Yes.
why Foxy Brown and Lil Kim, for them being so sexy, they were really popular, and they captured their audience because at the end of the day, their lyrics were still, it was very wordplay-ish, right?
Yes.
So when Lil Kim would refer to her body part and say something else, it's like, oh, that sounds kind of slick.
Right.
You know what I mean? That sounds kind of tight the way she said it. You know what I mean? And not
Yeah.
just outright, oh, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's still making a point to where it's
Yes.
like, oh, okay, I'm listening. What are you going to say
Yes.
next? You know what I mean? So the same thing with males when they rap about guns and shooting and money or whatever. If
Yeah.
the lyrics make sense and it sounds like a real flow and they're being intelligent with the choice of words, that's
Yeah.
what makes it That's what makes hip hop, and that's what makes people all over the world embrace hip hop because
Yeah.
it is about wordplay. That's why people loved Eminem so much when he first came out, because
Oh,
not only is he this white dude who knows how to rap, but
yes.
lyrically, like he'll make a word that doesn't rhyme with the other rhyme together, and it's just like, damn, how did he do that? You know what I mean?
He's a
So
scientist.
he is. He is
Seriously,
a
he's a
scientist.
scientist of words. And when I
Yes.
call him the scientist of words, he brings up stuff that I wouldn't even think of even
Mhm.
knowing how did you come up with that? And I think he's the only rapper that I know that no one will probably ever battle against
Yeah,
because
yeah,
of the words that he comes along to say. But at the same
right.
time too, he's also a realist too, right? He's a lyricist, he's a realist, and I just love, and he's also powerful. Even when he did 8 Mile, when he did the 8 Mile, right? And he was rocking a crowd, and also just seeing the diversity of what hip hop brings from Latin to Caucasian to to
Yes.
African American to Asian, and just bringing them all into one. But that's what hip hop does, though. Hip hop
Yes.
does that, right? And that
Yeah.
brings
Oh,
off
yeah.
of the diversity as well too within the culture itself, which is super awesome. So you know, I got to shift the gears a little bit before we take another break in a few minutes. But we got to talk about, because since you kind of slid into it, right? You kind of slid into it when you talk about being in front of the camera. Being in
Hmm.
front of the camera is a beautiful thing because you as an artist, as a hip hop artist, but also as a different aspects of things when it comes to interviewing people. You
Hmm.
have also that interviewing skill to be able to interview people like as if you was a TV show host. Um,
Yeah.
I just
Hmm.
want to briefly talk about how you went into that, and what was that feeling like?
Yeah, definitely. So when I relocated to Oakland and started my hip hop career, I said, this is a male dominated industry right now. There's no female rap artists that are out right now. So, what are you going to do to make yourself stand out? Make yourself relevant and make people care about who you are. Because right now, no one's trying to sign you, no one's trying to put money or promotion behind you. So I came up with a little public access show called Diva TV, and
Nice,
I broadcasted on 26 public access stations. So like every week, I was delivering DVDs of my show. And what I used to do, I used to have like a little fake microphone, and my business partner would have a little camcorder, and we go backstage at all these hip hop concerts, some red carpets, and just start interviewing celebrities. And next thing you
nice,
know, people are seeing themselves on TV or seeing other people that they know on TV, and they're just like, "Who is this chick?" It's Keldamuzik, Diva TV, and that's also how I got the name Diva, by the way, as my AKA.
nice.
And so that's when I kind of let that career take its course, and I came up with a show later called Diva Talk Tonight,
Okay,
where I interviewed guests, and we'd have little entertainment comedy skits in between. And then it came to a point where I'd start having people on a panel, and we'd start talking about current events or political issues, to the point where, okay, it was just strictly entertainment, and I'm interviewing all the high profile entertainers in the Bay Area, and now the show is on Tubi. So you
nice,
guys can definitely stream Diva Talk Tonight on Tubi. Uh,
nice.
and so with that, I left it alone. It's just streaming on Tubi. It'll probably get picked up on other platforms as well. But now, as far as like talk show hosting and stuff, I have a podcast, and that's just called Diva Talk the podcast, and that's on iHeartRadio, Spotify, all wherever you find your podcasts, you'll find Diva Talk on there. So, because I'll admit, I love talking to people, and I love getting to know what other people know that I don't know. Because you
Yeah,
always want to know what other people know. What level of education do they have, mentally or spiritually. or what are they into? You know what I mean? You just never know. And so that's why I have the podcast, and I have my two co-hosts, um, Diamond So Sexy and B Nicole, and they help out with everything to where, hey, I just show up and who's the guest? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But they choose the guest for me and they coordinate everything. And we stream also too locally in Oakland on a TV network called Our TV. So
nice.
that's from the TV aspect, but it's a podcast where we are on all the podcast platforms. So you guys check that out as well.
Yeah, I like that, man. Congratulations on that. Now, when we talk about divas, because diva is a big word. Yeah, I mean, diva is a big
Yes,
word. It got a lot of style to it. There's a lot
yes,
of, there's a lot of things behind it. Then you got diamond and sexy. We talk about divas.
yes,
So
yes,
when we
yes.
talk about being a diva, there's a certain level of, you know, um, how can I say this, style that you should
Hmm.
have when you're talking about being a diva on a show. Now, is it specifically for all divas, or is it also male and female
Oh, it's
interaction?
male and females.
Okay,
Matter of fact, we had I had a couple males on recently, and it's good that we have males on there because if we talk about female issues, we could bounce that off of the male. Like, okay, well, how do you feel about a female always wanting this or not wanting this? And the male, whoever our male guest is, would answer that from his perspective as a man. Um, and it's funny, like we'll have debates, right, and
yeah,
we'll all go back and forth like I don't think that's true or that is true. But yeah, no, the show is made for anyone who wants to come on, who doesn't mind talking, not just about yourself but about everything else. We come up with like 3 topics a week of all the current events, or
nice.
just some important current events, and we shoot those topics over to the guests, and we say, hey, be prepared for after we talk about your album or whatever you have going on. Be prepared. We're also going to talk about this.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
and that's what podcasting is about too. It's about talking about everything, everyone, not just the guests or not just the hosts, but it's
yeah.
about everybody who's involved at the moment.
Well, I think that's what on a podcasting piece. I think that's what a lot of people are getting into. It's like what reviewing what the world is seeing, right? And then
Hmm.
you actually start talking about what's trending, what faded out, and what to bring back.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
If you're missing something, right? So that's good, man. Good for you as far as on that show. That's super dope. But we got another break I got to take. But this break right
Hey.
here. Hey, Kelda, you might want to hold on to your seats for this one because this is the NASCAR moment. It's a NASCAR moment.
Hey.
Let's go. Everybody, it's your boy Rico No Suave, and you already know NASCAR moments. It's what we talk about here because we love NASCAR and we love everything that goes fast, right?
All
Sometimes
right.
even our show goes fast. Everybody, here's a moment. Let's bring that up. Let's see what that moment is. Ooh, it's the NASCAR Foundation NASCAR Day Give-a-thon, everybody. If you want your name to be on a race car, donate $25 or more. Hey, listed on the Nick Sanchez #2 Rev Racing Chevrolet Silverado at North Wilkesboro. Ooh-wee. Make sure you donate and make sure you go ahead and donate to them. Make sure you go to NASCAR Foundation, everybody. That is super, super awesome. And it's about the community. It's about giving to the kids. It's about making sure that you guys give to a great cause. But dang, what would it be? What type of moment would you feel if you got your name on a race car? I think I'll feel good because if Rico No Suave is on a race car, it's all good. That's all I gotta say. It's all good because people are like, Rico No Suave. Oh, I gotta follow that car. Just make sure it's #1 because we never two. Oh, you already know. It's Talladega Nights. All right, everybody. That was NASCAR moments. Thank you guys so much. Let's get back to my girl, Kelda. Kelda, hey, you like NASCAR?
Yeah, I watched some of the races. Um, to me, I think it's very fascinating, and it's like the most dangerous sport ever. You're in a moving vehicle, you're in a machine, and you're going how many miles per hour?
Man, they going over like 180, close to 200 miles per hour
I went
when they're actually
120
driving.
once.
And they're driving at a style,
Yeah.
a pace where they're all just so professional and knowing how to be able to keep that speed together. Man, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's
No,
amazing.
it is. It's really amazing. And I kind of like watching dangerous sports because it's just like, okay, I know I can't do that.
Let somebody
Okay?
else do it.
Yeah, let somebody else do it. I'll watch, eat the popcorn, chill. No, I ain't doing
Yeah, it
it.
can get kind of dangerous, especially with the cars itself. I mean, it's wow, yeah. Some cars, it can be kind of dangerous, and especially when it catches on fire, but also when it flips over,
Yeah, when they
and
crash.
and the inside is pretty like sometimes like sturdy enough that
Hmm.
it's not that dangerous. But yeah, for
Hmm.
some cases, yeah, it could be super dangerous. That's for sure.
Hmm.
That's
Yeah,
for
I
sure.
bet.
Kelda, we got a few more minutes of fame around here. And I know fame is always on your side, love. So I got a few more minutes of fame with you. But we do have to talk about some struggles because you
Hmm.
as an artist and multi-talented, there are demands upon you that people are looking for. How do you happen to juggle all of those things together? What's the struggles behind being in demand as you are?
Uh, I would say keeping commitments with people. And I will say that I've always had issues with that, even though I have a booking agent and manager. Um, there's times where I'm double booked because I do favors for friends and family, but sometimes it's like you got to separate that from business because this is how you eat, this is how you live.
Yeah.
And if you keep doing favors for people, you're not going to get too far because you're helping them more than they're helping you.
Yeah.
So that's always a situation with me. Like even when I got friends or fellow artists that are like, "Hey, Kelly, let's do a track together," and I'm just like, "Okay, well, what's the budget?"
Right.
This is business now. You know what I mean? We're friends when we're at the fashion shows or wherever. But when it comes to actually making a record together or collaborating together, what's the budget? What are the details? What are the logistics? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Yeah.
this is totally separate. So that's always a situation. And you don't never want to let anybody down. You don't want to seem like you sold out or you changed. You know what I mean? You always want to
Yeah.
get real with everyone who has helped you get to where you need to be. But at the same time, people need to realize business is business. And if this is how you live and this is how you pay your bills, then other people need to respect that and not think that you're always going to just hand out something for free to them because of your relationship. So those are the challenges that I face. And then yes, double booking sometimes is another challenge. Or damn, if I'm not feeling too well but I already made this commitment, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm really really not feeling well, my allergies are killing me, I just can't get out of bed. And then it's like it sucks when you have to call. It's like calling in from work, hey, I can't make it today,
Right.
except for this might have been something that's been planned for a whole 6 months to a year and you're
Yeah.
calling today saying you cannot make it.
And I
So
think that's you know what, when you bring that up, I mean, you did kind of talk about double booked and things like that. I mean, double booking is kind of a hard phase because it's almost as if you don't want to let anyone down, right?
mhm,
You don't want to, you don't want to burn bridges with people. But I do have one word for you. When you talk
mhm,
about people that you know that want to do stuff with you, it's
mhm.
called discounts. Uh, that's
Mm,
what they want. They want a discount.
they want a
Uh,
discount.
I don't have coupons. I don't have none of that. And
Right.
I don't have special codes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sorry.
No, we don't have those special codes over here. But I will say, if and not for sure if you've done this already, but some of my people that may have asked me to do something for them, I'm saying, listen, I'm looking for this long commitment. I'm not looking for something that I'm just gonna try to help you as far as with fame, and you're not helping back, right? So there has to be some type of a long-term contract commitment in order for stuff like this to be able to happen for the long term. But yeah, man, I'm telling you,
Oh
like
yeah.
when people know that you're up and up, and then they want to ride, and then all of a sudden they want those
Hmm.
discounts. You have to
Hmm.
double
Yeah.
check that.
Right,
So
right. And even sometimes, okay, if whoever I'm working with, whether it's music, TV, film, okay, if there isn't a budget, what's the marketing plan behind this? How is this
right,
going to become a lucrative uh, business move for me in the future? And there's been people who have sent me proposals like, okay, this is what's going to happen. This is not what we're trying to make happen. No, this is what is going to happen. This film is going to be distributed on this platform, and it's going to this festival, or it's going to be distributed, on this outlet or that outlet. Or same thing with music, like, hey, this song is guaranteed to be on um, these playlists, and we're going to do a music video. It's going to be on this platform. So if there is a plan in place, a solid plan in place, and we sign an agreement based on that, then sometimes, yeah, I'll bend a little bit and say, okay, I'll work with you. But for the most part, yeah, you gotta do what's right. And like you said, oh, you want a discount? Well, I ran out of coupons, so here's the price. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
what are you gonna do?
I'm out of discounts. Yeah, I'm out of discounts for the year.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, that's just how it is. So,
Yep.
you know, last question, because this is a big one, right? Because I want to know from an acting standpoint. You are an actor.
Yes.
Talk to us about your acting career.
Oh man, so I've been in showbiz since I was a kid. Had my first headshots done at 5 years old. Went, let's see, had like maybe three or four different town agents between the age of 5 and 12. uh, Went to different acting schools, modeling schools, and I took myself more seriously as I got older, and got professional headshots done, and that landed me a role on this featured film called First Date, which is streaming on Hulu and Disney Plus. You guys
Nice.
check that out. And it also landed me a starring role in a play called How Black Mothers Say I Love You, which was directed by Tanika Baptiste and written by the famous author Trey Anthony. So I've been in quite a few independent films. I just wrapped up a film called Inhumane that I was in recently.
Nice.
Um, I'm working on, I'm in the comic series The Hodges with comedian Mario Hodge.
Yeah, the
That's the,
Hodges.
yeah, The
Yeah.
Hodges. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's coming to Amazon Prime this summer.
Yeah. Okay. That's
Hmm.
hot. I like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. And no one is
Excuse
really
me.
doing that in the Bay Area. So like we're kind of the first ones to do it, and we're gonna blow it up, and it's gonna be huge. It's gonna be really huge.
That's hot. I like that, man. That's nice, man. Congratulations on that. But I'm gonna congratulate you on something else as well too, right? Congratulations
Mhm.
on everything that you're doing, but congratulations because you won the Rico No Suave Show shirt. We got a shirt for you.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Thank you.
Yeah, we,
Oh,
we we got a shirt for you, and one of the reasons why we give shirts out because the gems of the world is you. You are gem of the world to basically have to be multi talented, to be number one as far as a woman's hip hop artist. I think that's always hot. When it comes down to your influences as far as the journey that you have taken, and then we talk about how you're being on camera, but also taking that risk to be able to interview people, behind stage and just it's not like fake it till you make it, but you faked it and you knew that you were going to make it, right? So it
yes.
wasn't
Oh
like you
yeah.
didn't know because your personality helped you get there, right? And then, of
Hmm.
course, you got to the acting part. The acting, of course, going through school and also going through classes, doing your training, and then being in the Hodges, right? And I think that is super, super hot. I think that is super cool. And also fashion, right? I mean, I know you briefly talked about your fashion as well too. And doing fashion shows and also just being who you are makes this all come together from a personality standpoint and how you connect with people. So, once again, congratulations on everything. Welcome to the Rico No
Thank
Suave Show
you.
family. And yes,
Thank
I'll make
you.
sure I get this out to you, love.
Yes, thank you so much, Rico. I appreciate you. And with that being said, I gotta send you a beret as well.
Let's go.
So
Let's go.
a
Let's
Tim's. I gotta send
go.
you a Tim's.
Let's go. Hey, so we're going to put up your social media because we want people to know how they get in contact with you. So, of course, there's that social media people that you need to make sure you follow her at Keldamuzik on Instagram, everybody. So make sure you go to Instagram. Go ahead and follow her there. Show her some love there. Here's the next one. We got YouTube. It's the same thing. You already know. You knew it was coming. Kelda Music. Yes, Kelda Music. Make sure you go and subscribe to her YouTube channel. Show her some love. Make sure you please go ahead and subscribe. Click on those notifications so when she uploads something brand new, you make sure you get notified. Last but not least, you want to book her? You want anything else? You want to know about everything about her journey? She has the bomb journey timeline on keldamusic.com. I took a look at it and I'm like, man, I've never seen somebody's journey like this, but you got to go and check it out. It is so cool as far as on her website. Make sure you click on that heading, journey, that title, journey. You'll see everything about it. Kelda, hey, love, I want to thank you so much for actually being on the show with me today and
Yes.
the whole crew. You hooked it up today. You hooked it up with nothing but inspiration, but also you are the bomb. We know that.
Thank
You're the
you.
bomb.
I'm trying to be like you, Rico. You. Thank you so much for having me. You're amazing.
No problem. And we'll come back and we'll talk again, in the future. But of course, I'm looking forward to doing some great things as far as with you. I got to
Okay.
come down to, I got to come down to San Jose, man. I got to come and check you
Yes.
out and
Yes.
do some great things as far as with you. Okay.
Come to the Bay. You got
I
it.
will.
I'll be
All right,
waiting.
love. I'll talk to you later. Hey, take care. Have a great one. Okay.
All right, you too.
All right, that
Bye.
was my girl Keldamuzik, everybody. Yes, thank you guys so much for being here on the show with the Rico No Suave Show. Another great episode, another level we go. And hey, we talked about hip hop, one of my favorites, of course. And then, TV show, being an actor. Kelda Music has it all. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. We got to tell you about our social media, everybody, because, we got a website. Our website is www.riconosuaveshow.com. Make sure you go ahead and check us out there. Here's the next one. Let's get it on. Boom. Yes, Rico No Suave Show on Instagram. Go to Instagram, check us out, follow us there. And of course, we have another one, which is Facebook, baby. Yes, Rico No Suave Show. Like and love everything that we're doing there. Go ahead and do it now. And the next one is important as well, too. Hook it up. Just go ahead and subscribe. Rico No Suave Show. Yes, that's on YouTube, everybody. YouTube is what we love, and they love us, and we love them. Last but not least, we have mixcloud.com/Rico No Suave Show. Turns into a podcast. It comes into audio, everybody. So make sure you please go right ahead and follow us on mixcloud.com/Rico No Suave Show. Everybody, we got to get out of here. We want to thank you guys so much for being here on the Rico No Suave Show today. And thank you so much for all of your support. But of course, we'll see you next time as we end off the show. Just lie.